Hello, it's day 166, and I want to talk about ending a diet. Starting a new diet is really fun and exciting, but ending a diet, ooh, that comes with its own special blend of negative emotions that nobody really wants to talk about. And I think that's because of how we've been trained to think about diets by our media. We're taught to think of diets as the solution, the thing that's going to fix our lives and our bodies. You're not just going on a diet, you're making a lifestyle change. You are going to be keto forever. You're going to be paleo forever. You are going to be counting carbs forever. And they float that as a very positive thing. So ultimately, when you get to the point where you start to realize about halfway between the start of the diet and the end of the diet, you get to a point where you realize you're not going to be able to do it forever. But you try to crush that feeling. You try to tell yourself, no, my body's just adjusting. I'm just detoxing from the sugar. It's just a craving. I will be able to do this forever. And ultimately, that proves to not be true. 9 times out of 10, that proves not to be true. And you go spiraling down into this hole. You are the one person in the world it didn't work for. You are the failure. You are the one with the lack of willpower. You are the eternal fatty who just can't do it. And believe me, I've felt that way. Over the past couple decades, I have gone on and off so many diets. I am the ultimate fatty when it comes to failing diets, okay? And one thing I've realized is in all those decades of dieting, I never made the conscious decision to end my diet. I never sat down and said, okay, not working for me, I'm going to try something else. It was never like that. It always ended in crying or just feeling so low or binging or just really unhealthy things. So as good as you feel when you start that diet, that's how low you're going to be when it ultimately fails. For a while there were people who were trying to reclaim that word diet. A diet is not something you go on, it's just what you eat. Your diet is what you eat during the day. It's not something special, it doesn't have to have restrictions, it doesn't have to be some weird counting thing. It's just what you eat in a day. But I've noticed that those people have kind of dropped off the face of the earth. And whenever people use the word diet, they almost exclusively mean a prescribed method of eating. I have come to realize that my diet has shifted over these past couple weeks of intuitive eating without me really trying at all. I haven't made a conscious effort to change anything, but I've found that while I was eating a ton of sweets at the beginning of intuitive eating, I hardly eat any sweets anymore. And it's not because they're not around or because I've told myself that I can't. It's just because the diet has shifted around my current wants and needs. And also dairy. Dairy is something I've really struggled with in the past, particularly cheese. And I haven't wanted it as much because I have come to realize that cheese makes me feel gross. I'm still eating it, but not in the amounts that I used to. I haven't really started a diet, but I feel like I'm ending a lot of tiny little diets, a lot of little habits that I used to do just because they were ingrained in me so deeply because of the way I have treated myself in the past. Like, I used to eat sweets because I felt like they were off limits. I could never eat them, so you gotta eat them now when you're giving yourself permission, when you're on the binge. Same thing with dairy. Same thing with like a lot of breads. I'm realizing that I'm ending a lot of these habits not because I have to, but because now I actually want to. But weirdly enough, I still don't feel like I'm in a good place with intuitive eating. I feel like at any second I could go back to a binge restrict cycle. A couple days ago I had a setback and there was nothing I wanted to do more than to plot out a meal plan for the next 6 weeks. I'm afraid that intuitive eating is just going to be another diet that I ultimately end up crying and screaming once I'm done with it, once I end the diet. This one has gone on a very long time, though. But I'm still afraid for it. I'm still afraid. However, I do still think that intuitive eating is something that should be looked into by a vast majority of people. I'll let you know if that changes. I'll let you know if there's anything else I find out there, but for right now, man, I really hope this diet doesn't end. I really hope that I keep seeing like positive changes and that I can keep going, most of all.